Hi Cancer, welcome to your monthly reading for August. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. If this is about you and another person, this could resonate with theirs or your moon, rising, or Venus sign. All right, Cancer, what do we got here? Cancerian for August. 8 of Cups and the Emperor. So that could be Aries. All right. Cancerian. What do we got for Cancer? August. I think that might be coming out of being painfully emotional about something and back into control, or an effort to get back to where you feel control. And you're back in control of your life. Getting some distance from a situation so you can regain some control. Hierophant, that could be Taurus. 7 of Wands, 7 of 7, 7 high of Swords, 7, 7, 3 of Pentacles, Temperance, that could be Sagittarius, 2 7s make 14, okay, no, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, okay, what's going on there? All right. Okay. All right. What are you thinking about giving up? What's going on here? You're transitioning. What are you doing? 3, 5, 9, 2 5s. 3 5s. All right. It's like you're being vigilant about something. There's nothing to worry about, but it's because I think for the Cancers I'm reading for, it's almost like you feel like, well, okay, if I continue to worry about something, then there won't be anything to worry about because I'm already on top of it. So it's not like anything's going to blindside me. I daily worry about stuff so that nothing can blindside me. That's what it feels like. It's like you're being vigilant, but there's nothing to really worry about, but you're going to worry just in case. And I'm talking about in your small neck of the woods there. What's this? 7 of Wands. You're transitioning. I'm telling you, you're moving into something else. What's this King of Cups? Okay, that's Pisces, and I read that as Pisces. All right. So 7 of Swords. What's this 7 of Swords for Cancerian? 2 of Pentacles. Okay. So you're thinking of making some changes here. What's this 3 of Pentacles? Queen of Pentacles. Okay. All right. I think you're feeling like you've outgrown something. What's this Temperance about? But it's not worth it to you to change just yet because there's a lot of benefit to where you're at. I just don't think you're very jazzed about where you're at right now. And this is about you. Before you do anything, you need to figure out if it's possible, because I think you're thinking of leaving. I think there's something that you're thinking of changing. I think you've outgrown a situation you're in, whether it's romantic, whether it's work, and you're thinking of leaving. But I think that there's a lot of benefit to staying, so you don't want to leave until you've got figured out how you can replace that benefit. And I feel like I'm talking about work here. So we got Temperance, that could be Sagittarius, Page of Pentacles. All right. What's this? Okay, so what's this 9 of Pentacles about? So, funny that. Knight of Cups. All right, here's the thing. You need to throttle back. I don't think this is about leaving the job or the situation. I think you need to marshal your effort better. I think you need to redistribute your energy and effort. You're not making enough time for yourself. You're in constant management mode, and instead of doing anything, it's like you're mentally so full that it's almost like you're doing a lot, but you're in one position the whole day. Like you're sitting down the whole day, or you're doing a lot mentally. There's a lot of mental almost worry or management here that might not be needed or could be better used elsewhere. You need to diversify your mental energy here. There's, I think okay, so this is the King of Cups. We're dealing with feeling emotionally kind of imbalanced and, dare I say, fragile, because you're throwing yourself too much into a project or too much into a situation, and you need to throttle back. You need to redistribute your energy. This feels like work, specifically like you're working with people that it might not, you might not feel like they're your people, that you can trust them, or that you can count on them, rely on them, that they would put out the same effort towards something. So this is about you pulling back your energy, being strategic about where you put your energy, what you give your consent to, what you volunteer for, because it feels like you're having to really work at keeping boundaries in a specific situation, and it shouldn't be like that. There's a lot of benefit, I think, to the other parts of that association. This could be romance, but you're doing way too much. You don't need to do that much. It's costing you your emotional health, or it's infringing on your emotional health here. What's this? Okay, so we got Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Excellent. I like that. Because this is you realizing, hey, I need to, maybe it's not about me leaving. Maybe that's in 2 or 3 years. But while I'm here and it's going good, I'm just going to pull back and not volunteer for so much. And it's restoring balance and a feeling of sense of self, instead of feeling like you're just always juggling and always having to be really strategic about your time and everything's just like this is pulling that back and feeling secure and safe, and only, I hate to say, doing the least minimal you can, but basically being realistic about your energy output here and saying, no, you know what, things being are what they are right now. My personal health and my mental health matters also. My emotional health, everything matters. I've been given this a lot, and it's worn me out, and I am not having people that support my effort, or like, do I have to work with this person? Can't I just do the project myself? Or do we have to go to that level? And the answer is no, you don't. You can refigure how you involve yourself in this situation. And it's funny because we got kids here, and then this could be a teacher. So this could be about like, oh man, I'm going to have to be teaching, the way, I don't want to do it the way it is. And it might even make you want to think of not going back or changing out of the profession or whatnot. But then you realize, oh, there's a lot of benefit to, this or that or whatever. So I just need to do it differently. Could be that. It doesn't have to be teaching, but it's, this is you thinking about making changes to a situation that you just feel like maybe you've either outgrown, or it's kind of asking for more than maybe you signed on for. You don't want to do it anymore, but you do reconsider and find a way to do it differently to salvage some of your energy. And that might solve the problem here. It might make you feel like, you know what, I can do this as long as I don't go past this point of energy output for myself. Because if I go overboard, then I just like, you know what, I don't want to show up. I don't want to do it anymore. It's too much. So this is you needing to balance out your work. This is you needing to, because there's a lot of benefit with where you're at, with what you're doing. For the Cancers I'm reading for, don't throw the whole thing out just because one part of it is not desirable. There's a workaround for that. You just have to find it. You just got to reconfigure. What's this Five of Pentacles? Oopsie. Okay, that was going to jump. What's this Five of Pentacles? Five of Pentacles. Okay, so you're not feeling, whatever you're involved in, you're not feeling emotionally fulfilled by anymore, and you are thinking of making the changes. It's just that you've delayed the changes because this is a workaround. You're going to salvage it. You're going to be able to figure out how to navigate it, but it's still going to be in your mind about maybe making some changes altogether down the road. Like not just changes within this system, whatever this is, or this association or relationship, but leaving it all together. You're just not ready yet. But I think that there's a feeling of not being fulfilled here, and that it might be time to leave. It might be like your cycle with this situation, specifically work, is done. You're just not ready to do that yet. So you're going to start planning and figuring out what you could do differently for now. But what you could do, what other things you could do. You're good where you're at, and I think that's the reason why you're wanting to stay, is because that you are compensated fairly, or you feel comfortable where you're at, but your heart's not in it anymore. And so you're looking at making some changes down the road. Right now it's just a workaround and managing things differently, but I think it's going to stay with you. I think this has planted a seed, and this is about you looking to eventually leave this situation. You're just not ready yet, nor is it advantageous for you to do so, because you do get paid well. You do feel like you're set to rights here. But eventually I think it's going to be not worth it. You're going to find ways to replicate that elsewhere. What else for Cancerian? All right, we got Raphael's here. This was Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. Again with the Knight of Cups. Oy. So that could be wanting to feel fulfilled, and you're not. Wanting to kind of just have something that you're really excited to come home to at the end of the day after this long, it's all worth it because this. You're kind of lacking that. You're not feeling like that. You're in search of it again. You once felt that way with this. You don't anymore. So you're going to bide your time, and maybe that drive and zest for it will come back. Maybe it won't. But you're not going to make any changes, any big changes, I should say, meaning leaving this until later on. You're not ready yet, and there is a workaround. You just have to do your time differently, and that's going to suffice and hold you over for now. There's a possibility you could get that feeling back, because that's what you're after. You're after that why you originally signed on for whatever this is that seems to have gone by the wayside. So, I mean, there's a possibility that feeling, that attachment to it could come back. But I think you're planning on it not, because I think this has planted a seed for you to eventually move on. What else for Cancerian? Oopsie. Okay, I pulled two, so we're going with two. Four of Michael, which is Four of Swords. Insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off. Seek relief from stress. Yes. Okay, so that's what this whole thing is. Three of Ariel, which is Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, so we're talking about work here. Three of Pentacles again. Do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors. Working with others in a cooperative manner. And I feel like that's what's kind of missing, is that maybe what is so hard about this is the fact that you don't work with people, you don't work with your people. And so maybe that's the workaround. Maybe this is you saying, you know what, I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to kind of keep them at bay as much as possible because I just don't like my team, or I just don't work well with this on this project with these people, or whatever it is. And maybe that's the workaround. And maybe when you get a different set of people, one that you feel like, oh, hey, this is a really good fit here, then the desire for whatever you're doing or involved in comes back. But I think the social component of this, your team or who you're around on the daily, is really kind of cramping your creativity and your style, and you're wanting to just be kind of autonomous because it's just easier for you that way. There's a mismatch in the environment that you work in or who you work with. All right. I don't feel like this is romance. I feel like this is work. Getting water. Okay. I did that one. I did this one. Okay. What else for Cancerian? What else for Cancerian? Archangel Gabriel, Gabriel's wands, messenger of creativity and hope. And look at all those kids. So, this has teacher vibes all over it for me. Oddly specific, but there it is. Again, the Hierophant, one of the meanings could be teacher. So there it is. Okay. So it could be that working with somebody, if it's not teaching, doesn't have to be, but whatever you're doing, you might have lost that aspect of your job, or just feeling in general like everything you do on the daily is not very fulfilling, and you're kind of like, oh, I got to make some changes. This is saying, right, and you know, there's those workarounds. This is saying that you do get your mojo back. You do get that creative spark again. You do kind of rally or come back around with these minor changes throughout your daily routine, or doing the same work but going about it differently, so that you can get that creativity back and that productivity back, even if it's working alone or independently. Which I honestly feel like you're much more suited, that's what's cramped your styles, that you don't want to have to be a part of. It's almost like you're having to kind of participate, but your heart's not in it. You'd rather just let me do my own thing. I'm better that way. Can we say introvert? What else for Cancerian? Okay. The unicorn. The unicorn, good friendship, good fortune and friendship. Oh, nothing wrong with that. All right. Good fortune and friendship. Okay. So we've got you just kind of going through something. You'll rally. You're going to have your friends. You're going to get back to the routine. You just need to tweak it here and there. It's all right. You'll rally. For Cancerian. That's for Cancerian. Maybe if I put this here and the header here, and then put this right here, maybe that'd be better. Kind of not really, because of that doggone light. All right. For Cancerian. Awesome. Empress on her side, and 8 of Wands on its side. So, okay. All right, we're feeling kind of down, feeling like there's not much hope, not very motivated, and a lot of worry about how are we going to do this? How's this going to happen? Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to have to think of all the answers. This feels like a teacher getting ready to go back to work. That's what this feels like. Or somebody getting ready to open back their shop up after like closure, or getting ready to pick up the pieces after something. That's what this feels like. Something kind of having to go back to a system that you don't really feel connected to anymore, or you're just looking at all of the problems associated with it rather than what is possible. Getting back into the swing of things after a hiatus, and this is kind of the growing pains of it, and that's okay. It's normal and it happens. You've got friends, you'll figure it out. You always do. You're just feeling kind of lackluster about it right now. Okay, all right, I leave you here. It doesn't have to be teacher. It's just, honestly, it sure does fit though. We got taking care of kids and the teacher, and then we got the kid. Okay, all right, doesn't have to be though. I hope this was helpful, Cancer. I hope to see you in the next reading, and I thank you for stopping by. Much love to you. Take care.